boy, Larry Syid Wright. Now, let me tell you something. I've actually had the pleasure and the opportunity of going live with him on several occasions, and each occasion has been so much fun. And he's always doing some amazing stuff. So his latest thing that he's doing is just in time for Black History Month. Okay, so he co-wrote a short, and I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit more about it. It's called the Ella Baker story, The Great Organizer. He's got some great things going up, and I'm just gonna go ahead and bring him on, and you guys can go ahead and check him out. We're gonna talk about it. And what's up?
What's up with you? Let me clean up a little bit. Let me clean up. Okay, there you go. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. I'm so excited to have you on here because we got some great things coming up, which I kind of introduce you and I say Black History Month is here, February. And then also too, which is perfect because you're doing this movie, the Ella Baker story, The Great Organizer. So definitely am excited that you're coming on here to talk about that. So I'm gonna let you kind of take the floor on that one.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you, and I want to definitely throw a smash shout out to your husband, Team Q Stack Media, you and your husband. And I have to say this, when Wayne came to me about working with me on the film, I didn't know that it was going to be so much work because and I'm saying that in a good way because I've been doing this a long time, and I've done a lot of stuff by myself, and I think I've done fairly well, my stuff. I can at least say since I started entering film since 2005, one of my projects been in some kind of festival or some kind of event. But working with Wayne and actually working with Rasheen, working with Wayne and other people really made me appreciate how much work we put into what we do as independents and working with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I respect them for that. But when Wayne came in, he was like, Brother Syed, and I gotta say this before I get started. He was like, Brother Syed, I'm gonna work with you. And your word is final word. Whatever you say, that's what I'm gonna do. But it's just how we work together. How how he would say, hey man, let's try this, let's do this. I never shot in ProRes, whatever they call it. I just come because I'm happy with shooting in 1080 for my camera, come home, cleaning it up. He said, man, we're gonna shoot it like this. We're gonna make this thing pop. And I have to say, when these people see what we put together Sunday, they're gonna be overly excited. And I'm like, and it's like, it's a joy just to be able to step back and focus on just doing one thing, and I done work with I don't want to say quite a few people. I done work with people that became overbearing, that made my job a little bit harder, but still I love them and respect them because it's about us just doing things together and making it work.
Yes.
But it's a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And when we first started, Wayne said, Brother Syed, I can't color grade this thing for you because I got too much going on. But this is the blessing though. Once he's seen how involved all the characters was, how involved you was, how involved he became, and how involved the production crew came with Kareem and Chris, myself and him, I think he said, you know what, I need to just do more to make sure that whatever I put my hands on, we can make it the best it can be. And we always had these conversations about not being Hollywood. And listen, this is what I was thinking about Hollywood. a couple of years ago, I used to go to Atlanta on film shoots. I done been on and quite with quite a few people just sit there watching. And I keep trying to tell people this all the time. They, unless they get some studio backing, they do exactly the same thing we do. They do exactly the same thing we do. They get their crew together and they try to shoot a film. If they don't have no studio back, and all of them don't have studio back. So I tell people that the difference between me and people that consider in the industry, that somebody just putting their face out there more. But this film that we are about to premiere this weekend is going to be something where people are going to always remember why why I am an activist and why I'm about Black history, because we're going to introduce them to Ella Josephine Baker. And I got my girl Latanya on here, and I want to give her a mad shout out. But when we bring her on, I'll say more about her. But let me, and I say this because she's my sister, and she's like my film work wife because she gets me straight. And she, but with I had so much confidence in her that I don't want to say I threw the women off on her, and I had my. I had my say in things and far as what I wanted from the women. I said to Tanya, I need for you to really work with these women. And she took on that challenge, and everybody will see Saturday how much work she put in and how much work she made them put in.
With the fact, even wanting to do a story about Ella Baker, because a lot of folks, when Ella Baker first came out, a lot of folks when I was telling them about it, they didn't know who she was. Well, so when you get a chance, go ahead and talk about that.
But listen to the thing. When I started this thing in 2014, I was looking to do a film about Fannie Lou Hamer. And Fannie Lou Hamer, she was one of the founding members of the Freedom Riders in Mississippi. So, but the more I was trying to do research on her, this Ella Baker person kept coming up. So I said, so I shifted gears and start doing stuff about her. And what drew me to Ella Baker was her activism started way before the civil rights activism. She was born 19 something, December the 13th, 19, whenever I had a date in my head. But, she started her activism way before, in the 30s. And she was, so just following her work as a woman, really, because I didn't know there was women like her back then, because, excuse me, every time they show us films and we see documentaries, women, and I'm talking about Black women, look like they were just the baby makers and the caretakers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but when I start doing my research and following her and said, you know what, I'm going to do a film about her. And it took me a while to really get the script where I wanted it. And then I brought on my best friend, who's Glenn Jones, who helped co-produce our last film, America Under Fire. He said, listen, we're going to make this thing work. But